What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing all right. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing all right. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Give me a one if you can see and hear me okay. Thank you to all of my moderators that are here. I appreciate it. Let me check and see if everything is okay. We got Troop bringing us in with a little bit of spread my wings. What's up, everybody? I relax my mind and be at ease. All right, we looking good over here on the YouTube side. Can you hear me now? Can you all hear and see me now? Is it better? Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. There's no echoing because we got a lot to cover today. All right, that's what's up. All right, we got 40 people in here. We get some more people in the kitchen. All right, thank you to everybody that's here. I want to thank everybody that's been buying Prince Pat Healing Hands. I got a few more bottles left. I hope everybody got their they should be getting all of their products this week. I sent everything out. I don't have nothing else, so hopefully everybody got their product. All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We have less and less people that's coming inside my lives these days, but it is okay. I appreciate everybody for coming back. I do appreciate everybody being here. I'm gonna say this, Miss Ayo. Remember what we discussed when you called me? Remember? Give me a yes if you understand what we discussed the last time we talked on the telephone. Then let's put that to motion right now. Okay? All right? I know I shouldn't have to speak to you again. All right? Now, when it comes down to what we're going to do today, we got a lot to cover, you guys. It is Truth and Lies. That's the name of this video. First, I'd like to thank everybody who bought some Pat's Healing Hands. I do appreciate it. I do have a few more bottles left of it. I know that those tariffs and stuff are coming in, and a lot of my ingredients I get from overseas and stuff like that. So it may be hard for me to get this stuff. So that's the reason why I said get your stuff now, because I may not be able to do it again. Okay. It all depends on how everything is, however they do with these tariffs. If the stuff costs too much for me to get, I may not be able to get the stuff that I usually put inside of that product. So right now, this is the quality stuff because I get all my ingredients from the places they come from. So on that note, you guys, let's get started. There's some things that I have to cover tonight, and they're going to be some very surprising things that I have to cover. And if you're not able to be an adult about the things that I have to cover, it's going to be surprising. It's going to be shocking. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to make up your mind whether or not if you want to put these things away and throw these things away that you may have in your house if you are using them. But I'm just here to give you information and to be able to come to the people that may think that they're doing the right thing and find out that they are doing the wrong thing and that they are slightly lost. It's time for us to get unlost and get out of these lies that have been told to us over time, and we don't really go and find out for ourselves what's going on. So in this particular class today, we are going to be finding out some truths and some lies, and we are going to look at this stuff ourselves, and we're going to be grown about it, and we're going to handle ourselves accordingly. You understand what I'm saying, you guys? Sometimes I'm the person like this. I'd rather know the truth than for somebody to lie to me. Give me a 5 if you rather have the truth than to and know the truth about what's going on, then be like caught in a lie and doing something completely wrong that you should not be doing. Give me a 5 if that's how you are. And for me, if somebody shows me proof and evidence that I've been doing something wrong or I'm going along with the wrong thing, I am definitely gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't know that all of that. And I'm gonna throw this shit away and I'm not gonna be bothered with this no more as of today. That's how I am. And I've always been this way. And as soon as I found out, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna step back away from that. So don't feel bad that if you got caught up with something and you didn't realize that this is what it was because somebody else explained it to you. Well, we ain't gonna have somebody explain it to you. We're gonna go in the book and then we're gonna go find out what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing about religion. That you all have to understand. People in religion, and the reason why people gravitate to it is that the way to control people is through fables, through people's lack of knowledge, through mysteries and scary woo-woo things, to be able to get a person to do and go along with a situation, whether they want to or not. I've been guilty of it as far as falling for it. You've been guilty of falling for it. Everybody has, until we go and start reading for ourselves. And then we find out like, hold up, wait a minute. This ain't it right here. This is not it at all. So that's what I've been up to these last few days. Is actually going back in time a little bit. And that's right. When you know better, you do better. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do better. And I'm also trying to give this knowledge to you all so you can do better. And we all learn together. And ain't no hard feelings nowhere at all. Sometimes we do stuff and we're unaware of ourselves of what we're doing. It's like, oh, I had no idea that I was doing that. Let me, get right. Well, let me ask the Most High to forgive me. And then we gonna move on and we gonna say, hey, I stopped that as soon as I found out I was in error. For me, a lot of people don't like getting reproval. And a lot of people feel like even on my channel right now, if I say something or if I say something about anybody else that, oh, you're being too aggressive and I like you, but you're taking shots at this and this and that. I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm letting you know exactly what's wrong. And if you can't take it, sometimes you have to be told this is wrong. And yes, I might not agree with other people, and it is cool. We don't always agree. But if something I see and I say, you know what, hey, I see you going this way, maybe you ought to pull it back. I don't have a problem with that. It's the same thing with other people. If I sit up here and say, hey, brothers, this is going on right here, I'm seeing something different. Maybe you ought to look at this first and then talk to it. Then, you know what I'm saying? See whether or not if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. And we find some kind of common ground. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit up here and go behind. I'm a very straightforward person. Anything that I have to say to somebody, I will say it to their face. I've always been that way. Always. That is my signature. I'm not afraid to say anything that I say on this channel to someone's face. At the end of the day, whatever I say is what I say, and I'm going to stand on that. And that is what it is. Even if it means that me and friendships have to go in separate ways. I've always been that way, even with my friends, my close friends. We might not get along. We might not agree. But if we don't agree to the point that we go separate ways, it is what it is. And it's cool. And I love them from over there. You understand? That's just always how I'm going to be. Now, there's no team this and no team that. I am Pat over here, Spiritual Life Phoenix, and I'm no longer Spiritual Life passing through, because at this point I passed through different knowledges. I have evolved and understood the era, and I keep going on and more. You're going to keep leveling up. It's called leveling up. You might have thought this way in the beginning, and as you keep on progressing, the more knowledge you get, the more you level up. So it's always room to grow, always room to change your thought pattern. You understand, as you gather more information. That's that part about if you hear something that's like, oh, I didn't know that was going on. And you say, hey, I'm leveling up. I'm going to correct myself and I'm going to level up. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I was once down with this, but I'm not down with this no more. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you ain't hurt nobody, you good. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's all I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from on this channel. I'm not trying to diss nobody. I don't care what other people do. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm telling y'all to do is be careful in what you're listening to and what you are. Go back and read. That's the reason why I tell you all, go back and look at the evidence yourself. Don't take my word for it. You go read it yourself. I'm never going to sit up here and tell you don't do this. Go read it yourself. Open up them Bibles and look at it yourself. Your Father is dealing in 3 different worlds: your past, your present, and your future. Those are the 3 worlds in which he's dealing in. That's the reason why he says nothing's too small for him. But if he needs for you to go back and understand some things, sometimes you're going to have to understand where he's coming from, the reason why he's so angry with our group of people. Because I'm going to tell you something. What I understood this weekend was this. Well, this week was, have you ever seen guys that get right out of jail? They young, they stupid, they go to jail. And then as soon as they get out, they may spend 7, 8 years in prison. That's a long stint for somebody that's young, okay? But it ain't too long for them to miss most of their life. So if they went to jail for 7 years or whatever, and then they get out, and then the same dudes that got them in trouble was standing on the corner, and they like, yeah, man, what's up? How you doing, man? We're about to do this, dot. You want to join in? And dude is like, there's no way in his mind, if he done learned something inside jail, that he want to go back there for any reason. But there are some young guys that get out and they get caught right back up in that same mess. And they end up right back where they came from. Not even a month or 2 or 3 months, not even 6 months go past and they right back in jail. How many of y'all have seen that? Give me a 1 if you've seen that. I've seen that a whole bunch of times in the hood. Right in the hood, I've seen this dude just get out of jail, not even 6 months out, and he going right, got locked right back up. I've seen that shit. It is so heartbreaking because it's like, man, what was you thinking? I mean, 7 years is a long time, and you right back? Well, guess what? I'm sorry, y'all. That's the situation our nation is in right now. Whether you want to believe it or not. Right back. We just got out of captivity in 2020. And I'm telling you right now, we doing some things in this nation that'll bop us right back into captivity. Literally like that. We doing it now. And we've been doing it for the last 3.5 years, some of us. And that's the reason why I am leveling up. Do you understand? I'm not trying to go back. 400 plus years of rape, rob, poverty, and all of these other things. I think our nation is tired of it. Give me one of those 10s if you like. I am tired of being broke. I'm tired of living in the hood. I'm tired of my blessings and watching other people be blessed in my face. I'm tired of that shit. Give me a 10 if you're tired of it. Well, then this is the reason why we're going to go in these books and we're going to understand why we ended up where we were. And it's just not, it's deeper than that. It's real deep. And this is not just us. It's where the world is today. It's where the world is today. And that's what I'm talking about. This is so deep. I was so upset yesterday. I just cried. I just literally sat in my kitchen reading this book and just cried because I'm like, all of this is sitting right here in front of our face. Our Bibles sit in our houses and we do not even pick these motherfuckers up. They ain't nothing but a dust collector or something to say that we got for some of us. And the answer has been sitting in front of our faces for literally generations, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has chose to pick up their books and really understand what's been going on with us as a people. And we want to sit up here and we want to say we the chosen ones. But when you sit there and see what we really were, you like, oh, hell no. I don't even want to be known as a motherfucking Israelite at this point. Seriously, I don't want to be known as no Israelite. After I show y'all what I got to show you today, you're going to be like, and that's exactly how that's how my whole day has been. It's literally that scenario about person getting out of jail, and before 6 months is even up, you standing your ass right back in front of the judge, getting ready to go back in for an even longer stint. But this time with the Most High, he like, I ain't hearing all of that, bruh. I'm not hearing all of that. So right now, I'm giving you different people that's inside of the nation to try to wake you up like I did last time. And if y'all don't get it this time, then it is what it is. Is this place gonna supernova? It's just that simple. Y'all, it was very heartbreaking. But I saw it from the beginning, and I saw it in the middle, and I see it now happening with us right now. It's really, really sad, and it's heartbreaking. So this is gonna be one of them hard truths, just like in law, when you have to sit down with your client and you have to tell them some things that they may not be ready to understand, and information that you have received from opposing counsel, and it is jeopardizing your case. But that does not mean that the judge won't go in your favor, because these are things that were unknown to you. But it's going to be some things that you're going to have to look across at your neighbor and literally be, you understand, it's one of them situations. So this is going to be a real interesting night. And like I said, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to forgive people. We're going to have to forgive them and move on. Not discuss it, not go crazy, not have no hem fests. We're not doing that. We're doing the laws this time. Right over here, we do the laws. We forgive our neighbor and we move on. Are we clear, class? Are we clear? Whatever we may hear tonight, we're going to forgive and we're going to move on, because that's the way the Most High wants us to be. Here's sometimes some painful things. Deal with it in your chest, in your heart, and release it. Okay? So, if you got your Bibles, please, everybody, go to Genesis, because we're going to look at some wordplay. And then we're going to go into Timothy, and then we're going to go into Acts. All right? Because Acts, as far as I'm concerned, baby, is one of the most eloquent arguments and a outline of what we did, done by any disciple I've ever seen. If it was done in a courtroom, it would have been majestic. Literally listening to this disciple, Stephen, who ended up being killed for what he had to say about the nation, because the nation was so outdone at what he had to say. They stoned that brother, but that brother hit them with that, hit our Israelites with that. Let me tell you something. Okay, and he let it go, and he let it go beautifully. It was the most beautiful argument I've heard in my life, and how it ended was him getting stoned. And then, chance out of 10, how this video is gonna end is about a bunch of motherfuckers being mad at me. And y'all know I don't care. I'm good with my Sammy that's split down the middle, my dark side. I'm cool with it. I know when to put that armor on and when to take it off. So I'm putting on my Sammy armor already, honey, because I already know how it's gonna flow. And different people gonna feel a certain type of way. And I want to tell those people who feel a certain type of way, you can feel how you want to feel. The truth is the truth, no matter how you feel about it. I've been told truths I didn't like. How many of y'all been in a relationship and somebody told you the truth about your other half and you did not want to believe it, but that didn't change the fact that it was the motherfucking truth? Give me a 5. Even if it's a friend, somebody tell you, let me tell you something, you like, I can't believe that you saying this to me. And then you start thinking about it, and 2 and 2 and 2 start adding up to 4. And you like, but even though it hurts, it's the what? Truth. And it makes you feel a certain type of way. Okay, so we got grown folks in the house. I take the truth. I take the truth over a lie any day. Yes, it's gonna hurt. Yes, it's gonna sting. You understand what I'm saying? When I walked in on my daughter's father, and he quote unquote, we were engaged to be married, and he got another chick in my house having sex with her in my bed. That was the truth that I had. I could have walked out and said, that's not what I thought I saw. But I couldn't unsee what I've seen. You get what I'm saying? So you can't lie to yourself about everything. You can't lie to yourself. And this nation can't lie to itself about a lot of things either, nor this world. And that's what we're coming to right now. So we're gonna do some things. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna take a trip back in the time and visit Cain and Abel, so you can understand where the attitude came from with us. You understand? And this storyline of Seth that we want to do with the bloodlines of all of the, the Melchizedek and this and that. We need to understand where all of this stuff came from. All right. And how this foolishness of bloodlines and all this other stupid stuff, we gonna put a rest to that tonight. Timothy 1 is saying it's better to know the truth than a lie, because the truth is going to set you free. And it does. It really does. Because how the truth sets you free is it frees you up from an imaginary world. Because in my situation with my daughter's father, I was living in an imaginary world. I thought this man loved me. I thought he was on the same page as me. And lo and behold, I walked in and found out what? Otherwise. And guess what? When you find out otherwise, you realize you've been living in a what? A lie and an illusion spinned by somebody else. And you have to wake up into that truth. And that truth may hurt. That truth may feel uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, y'all, I'd rather know the truth and get a motherfucker out of my business and out my house than to have somebody laying next to me that's lying. Get what I'm saying? So it's the same way with finding out truths about what you've been following too. You understand? And it says the truth hurts, but you know what you know. And now nothing can fool you now. No matter what that person says, can't nothing change the truth. The truth is the truth, no matter whether you like it or not. Okay, so that's what we're going to deal with. And like I said, in Acts, we're going to find out some things we didn't expect to find out in here. This is an uncovering. We're going to uncover something. So get yourselves ready, courtroom, because we're going to have some explosive events tonight. And like I said, I know I'm going to have some people that's going to have some issues with it. So, hey, if you unsubscribe, it's cool. Hey, you can carry on the lie in your mind for as long as you want to. But the lie in my mind has died, and I done threw some shit away that I thought was a part of us, and found out no, that ain't a part of us, and I won't be using those symbols or those things ever again. Okay, so on that note, I need y'all to turn to Genesis, and we're gonna go to chapter 4 when we go into seeing what happened really between Mr. Cain and Mr. Abel. Okay, so you can see the attitudes and the shifts that has happened as of late. All right, now it says, and the man knew Eve, his wife. Now we know who the man is. The man is who? Adam. All right, Adam knew his wife because he got left down here, and he had sex with somebody. Okay, and the old girl ended up pregnant, even though he's got another pregnancy somewhere else. All right, and she conceived and bare Cain. So Cain came first. A lot of y'all believe that Abel came first. Okay? Give me a 1 if you thought Abel was the first child. Because he was. But he was by another woman. Give me a 1 if you know that Abel was the first child. That's the reason why they said Cain and Abel. But Cain Cain came first, and then Abel came second, and they were not from the same woman. All right. So Cain came first with the help of Yahweh. So Yahweh ended up helping deliver the first child. All right. Remember, he told y'all your origins came from, and the mama and the daddy didn't know what to do. It was SWAT. You didn't have no blood. You didn't get. You didn't have a. No one cut your cord. No one put you in a towel and wiped you off and put salt on you to be able to get you okay. Why? Because they did not know how to, because they were what? Ignorant of bringing children into the world. That's the reason why he said that in your origins. All right, inside Isaiah, he told you. Didn't nobody care to do that to you because y'all were basically out here. We are not, we're inside the Bible, Rodney, and you have to be a little bit more paying attention. We have been in no other book other than your holy Bible. And because you all blink in and pop out, this is the reason why you're confused. Please read Genesis again and read for clarity. Rodney, I know you're a Virgo just like me. I know for a fact you know how to go back and study. We're not dealing in the lost scriptures for right now. We're dealing inside your Bible. All right? Now, when it comes down to this situation, we need to understand that there were two women. There was the woman that was down here, which was Eve, which Adam beguiled, okay? Even though your preachers in the world want to sit up here and say that this woman tended to him. No, she did not. He stopped her, and they engaged in intercourse on the earth and was caught by Yahweh in the garden, busted and disgusted, and he went off. How many people followed from the last time I taught this? Give me a 5 if you remember what was said. Because I know that certain people say they lost, and we have to get some folks back on track. We understand what this story is. There are two women here. There is Lilith, the one from where the rib in which Adam came from, in which she came from out of Adam. That means that was his partner. He came on earth working down here with the father and ended up bothering one of the species. The species knew not to bother them, and they knew not to bother the species on earth. Okay, we understand that. But Adam, being a slick serpent, as the Most High put it, this dude went and bothered one of the women on the earth. And when he did that and got caught in the garden with her, he was at that point locked out of heaven. He could not go back where he came from. And the Most High said, you have become a creator just like me. You got to stay down here with your creation. Period. Just that simple. And he was not the only one that did that. Other angels follow suit right behind Mr. Adam. Okay? So Adam was the one who sinned first, not Eve. All right? And out of that situation, now Miss Eve becomes Adam's wife, and she bores Cain. And then they said, and she, which they're talking about, Lilith, borns Abel. Because he had he had a wife that came from his rib, that was from where he was, and Eve that was on the planet. All right. See, they leave things out of this. So naturally you're mixed up. It says now, and it says, and again, she bared his brother. That means Lilith bared the brother Abel, and Eve came out with Cain. Cain came first. She had her baby, second, right after that one. So Abel was the keeper of the sheep, but Cain was the tiller of the ground. Abel is one of the beings, one of those beings interdimensional beings from upstairs, from in the heavens, and Cain is what? The keeper of the earth. Do you understand what's happening here? Are you understanding what is happening here? Two different species. Yes, they're brothers because of their daddy's unfortunate behavior. But this is how it was supposed. The keeper of the sheep. The keeper of the sheep. That means that was going to be the ones that was going to take care of, to oversee the earth itself. And now you got Cain that would be literally the keeper of the earth. All right. And it says, and it came, it says, and in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground as an offering unto Yahweh. So he's showing you, this is what I've done here on the planet. And Abel, he brought the firstlings of the flock of the fat of it. Okay, so that means these are the different children that are here. All right, he brought them. It's like these are the different ones that are here that are really good people. Have you understand? So Yahweh had respect unto Abel's offering, but Cain to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very angry, and his face fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, why are you angry? Why has your face fallen? If you do well, should it not be lifted up? So he's like, if you do well, should it not? I lift it up if you did really good. You understand? It said, if you do not do well, sin crouches at the door, and you shall be his desire, but you shall not rule over him. So in other words, he gets jealous because he's saying, I see what you done did on the earth, and I'm not, it's okay, but your brother has worked something else a little bit different here that I like. And he said, if you did good, I'd lift you up, but you didn't. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Okay. So he says, and Cain told his brother, and it came to pass that they were down here working on the field, and Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. So in other words, he got angry. He's like, I'm pissed off because hey, Yahweh likes what you're doing down here, but he ain't liking what I'm doing down here. And I guess they get into an argument, and boom, 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 boom. That's it. And it says, and Yahweh says unto Cain, where is your brother Abel? And he says, I do not know him. Like that nigga ain't my brother. I don't know what you're talking about. Am I my brother's keeper? That's where the smart conversation comes from. He says, I do not know. And says, am I my brother's keeper? I don't know where he came from. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not supposed to be watching him. Okay. He says, what have you done? And the voice of your brother cries out from me from the ground. Now, cursed are you from the ground, which has opened the mouth to receive your brother's blood at your hand. And when you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you strength. A fugitive and a wanderer you shall be in the earth. Now, this is what Yahweh is saying. You're gonna stay on here, and you're gonna be a wanderer on this motherfucker forever. Okay. And Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground, and your face eyes shall be hid, and I will be a fugitive and a wanderer in the earth until it says, and it will come to pass that whoever will find me will kill me. And Yahweh said unto him, because of Yahweh's rules, what are the rules? Thou shalt not what? Kill. You get it now? Thou shalt not kill. It says, therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh appointed for a sign, and Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So he's like, anybody bother you, anybody touch you, they're going to end up with a curse on them, period. So Cain went out from the presence of Yahweh and lived in the land of Nod, which is the east of Eden. So it was east of where they were. It says Cain knew his wife, all right, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he built a city and called the name of the city after his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Ired and procreated. It was as Mehujael and then Mahajol procreated Methuselah. Now, and then Methuselah procreated Lamech, and Lamech took him 2 wives. Now you're starting to see this 2 wives bullshit. Okay, this is where the 2 wives and all of these guys thinking that they ought to have multiple wives inside Israelites, inside the Israelite community, they feel like this is where they are supposed to do this because their forefathers had multiple wives. Now, do you see it? Give me a 5. Do you see where the multiple wives came from? Give me 5. Give me a 5 if you see where it came from. So this is not something that the Most High brought into view. This is something Lamech brought into the world of Israelites. Are we clear, class? If we're clear, put clear inside the chat. If you are clear on this, of where the multiple wives came from, that was not a quote unquote commandment of the Father. Okay? All right. That was not a commandment. That was something Lamech. And Lamech was not exactly the nicest person. I've read about Lamech. And Lamech wasn't exactly the nicest person in the world. Okay? He said he took unto him 2 wives. The name was Adaiah, and the other name was Zaliah. And Adaiah bare Jabal, and he was the father of such that dwelled in tents and have cattle. And his brother's name was Jabal, which was the father of all such with the harp and pipe. So these are the musicians and have tents and have cattle. Now that have is italicized. And the reason why I want you to be careful with that is because that cattle part is that sacrificing thing. Okay? Where the sacrificing came from. So these are, like I said, Lamech's son. Lamech was not a nice person at all. He was into a lot of, he had a head that talked and told him the future about things, a skull that would open up in secret that he would go and talk to if he wanted to find people. Oh, look, yeah, you got to read about the story of Lamech. That's one of those stories that are taken out the Bible as well. All right. So it says he was the father of all such that handled the harp and pipe. And it says, and Zella, she was a bear, what is that? True Bacchane, a forger of every cutting instrument and bronze and iron. So this chick made knives and axes and things like that. And the sister of a Tubal Cain was Nehemiah, and Lamech said unto his wife, Anaiah and Zillah, hear my voice. The wives of Lamech listen to my speech. I have killed a man for wounding me. Okay, a young man for bruising me. If Cain shall be avenged 7-fold, truly Lamech 70 and 7-fold. So here we are. Here's the killing that begins. Okay, that starts inside the nation, coming from Cain's children. All right. It says, and Adam knew his wife again. That means he had sex with her again. And she bare a son and called his name Seth. For in italicized, she said, Elohim appointed me another seed instead of Abel for Cain, for Cain killed him. Let's go back. It says Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son and called him Seth. For she said, not the Most High said, she said, Elohim appointed me another seed instead of Abel, for Cain killed him. And Seth said to him also was born a son, and he called his name Enosh. And then began men to call upon the name of Yahweh. Enosh was the one that started to have them call upon the name of Yahweh. How many people got an eye opener on that one when it comes down to Seth? Give me a 5 if you got an eye opener on that one. That the Most High said, Most High never said that Seth was a special child. Eve said that. Most High didn't say that. I told you that italicized tells you, is pointing you to something. It's telling you, heads up, here's the line. Okay? So there's no special line that came through the line of Seth. Eve said that. The Most High never said that. Give me a 10 if you understand and it's clear to you now. Give me a 10 if it's clear to you now. So there's no special line that came from Seth. Are we clear on that one? Give me a 10 if you understand. There's no special line, none at all. No. So there's no priesthood coming out of that. There's no special bloodline coming out of the line of Seth. All right, so that lie is gone. Let's cross that off. Let's not talk about that anymore. Let's stop that foolishness. Okay, if we're gonna stop that conversation when people bring it to you, 10-4. Give me a 10 and a 4. If you understand a 10 space 4, 10-4, we're gonna stop that right here. Ain't no special line coming out of Seth's line. The only thing that they started to do was start to call upon Yahweh's name, and that was in Enosh's line when they started to call the Heavenly Father. But it had nothing to do with the royal bloodline. It had nothing to do with that. 10-4. All right, we got the 10-4s going. We can move on. Let's go ahead and start debunking this BS. Because like I told you, when you see that italicized, it's telling you heads up. You need to be paying attention to this conversation right here. So moving on. We understand that all these people procreated different people, and we're seeing that now there's a different species on the earth. We're getting Nephilim, we're getting into, they playing gene slicing and things like that. We are playing major games on this planet, and now you got giants that are highly intelligent doing different things. It's getting so bad on the planet, it's not even funny. And here we go at this point. Enters the situation with Noah, and Noah, the father's like, I'm finna destroy this place. I'm finna get rid of this because this is a mess, a hot flaming mess. And we're gonna have to start this over because this is too dangerous now at this point. So that's at that beginning. So now we're gonna mosey on over to Mr. Timothy. And Mr. Timothy has some things he wants to say to the nation that I think we ought to be listening to right about now. Hold on one second. Let me get my space. Where's Timothy at? Tim. Hold on. I'm old and I need my glasses. Let's see. This Bible was given to me years ago by a Jewish guy. And I told him a couple of my dreams. He came to work one day and he's like, he said, don't ask no questions. This is for you. And that was it. And I was like, okay, and I've had it ever since. It's a beautiful Bible. Many years ago, I got this. There it is. First Timothy. Timothy. There you go. Tim. In fact, this is how old my Bible is. It's literally that's what my Bible looks like. Somebody want to know what Bible I had, and that is this one. I don't know where this man got it from. He just came to work one day and he gave it to me. The Sacred Scriptures, the Bethel edition. That's the Bible I have. Anyway, so in Timothy 1, the Most High is basically telling us right here. Timothy is making a letter, and I think he's basically telling us, certain things about how the Most High wants us to be as far as the church is concerned. But he says something. He said something here that was just amazing. And he says right here in chapter 1, verse 3, he says, as I exhorted you to stay in Ephesus, when I was going into Macedonia, that you might change certain men not to teach a different doctrine. You know what I'm saying? Charge certain men not to teach a different doctrine, neither give heed to fables, endless genealogies, which minister questionings, rather than the dispensation of Yahweh, which is in the faith. So I do now. But the end of the charge is out of love and out of pure of heart and out of good conscience and out of faith unforrained, from which things some have swerved and turned aside into vain talking, desiring to be teachers of the law, though they understand neither what they say nor are they confidently affirm. So he's basically telling people, he's like, look, just don't be talking just to be talking when it comes down to this. Actually teach the law at the end of the day. That's the reason why I'm leveling up. We don't need to talk about current events. We already know what's going on in the world. But because we as a people have been asleep and now we're awakened, we have to be awakened to what that we need to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's time for us to awaken to what we need to do, not necessarily what's going on inside of life right now. You understand? Because we need to understand what has happened. We don't need to argue about, well, what we're going to go back in time and we're going to argue what went on with Seth and what went on with Eve. And no, we went over that and we're past that at this point. We understand exactly what went on back then because we can see it in the world today. Okay? Somebody had us outside of fair that set the world on the course that it's in right now, and all of the children of men have continued that same behavior, and a lot of the behaviors that were started back then are still in the world today. You didn't want the woman to have no parts of nothing, and we don't. And today that we do got a little bit of say, we still got people that's upset because I said what I said. I'm supposed to be all this female empowerment. Women are nowhere near an equal setting as men. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't care what you say. They're making laws right now to make sure women can't do certain things. Now, I'm not big on killing no babies at all. I am not big on that at all. But I don't see nobody putting no laws on men on how you swing your slung and how much you do it and when you can do it and when you can't. I've never seen that. Okay? It's some people that don't need to be out here doing what they're doing, especially if you're making babies and you can't afford to keep them. Or the women that you laying down with either. Okay? But, that's here nor there. But I'm supposed to be all this woman empowerment. No, I'm telling the truth. And if the truth hurts and it bites you in the ass, have a bit ass. But the truth is the truth. I see it every day. You see it in your hoods with these gentlemen that are out here, these little kids that are out here running around with guns and stealing and literally terrifying your communities every day. Somebody had to procreate that. Somebody didn't care who they was laying with to procreate that mess. So if you mad at me, don't be mad at me. Go talk to the brother that's throwing his sperm around like it's candy for anybody. Okay? He know he went to go see No Hand Susie, a loose lip Sally. You know that loose lip Sally? He know he went over there to see that because of what she do. And he left something over there with that. And now that is now in the world. I'm sorry, but the truth is the truth. Now he says now, from which some things have swayed and have turned aside to vain talking, desiring to be teachers of the law, though they understand neither what they say nor what they confidently affirm. But we know that the law is good, and that and if a man uses it lawfully, as knowing this, that the law is not made that knowing this, that law is not made for the righteous man, but for the lawless and the unruly, for the wicked and the sinners, and the unholy and the profane, for murderers, fathers, and the murderers of mothers, and manslayers, for fornicators, and bruisers of themselves with men, man stalking, liars, false swearing, and if any other thing contrary to sound doctrine, according to the good tidings of the glory of the blessed Elohim, which is committed in my trust. So he's saying righteous people already know not to do these things, but the law is for the people who don't know. Do you get it now? That's the reason why teaching the law is necessary, because many of us get sidetracked and we get into our Sammys, we get into our feelings when different things happen, and we do not understand how to handle these situations when they come up. So we go off, we go crazy, we do crazy things, we outlie, we use our kids as weapons. We sit up here and start doing nasty things like putting people's jobs at risk and all kinds of stuff because we are hurt. All right. I know how crazy I can get depending on what somebody has done to me. And at that moment, you might not be able to talk me down from going over somebody's house with that thing saying I'm finna fuck some shit up. Okay. But somebody that's saying, Pat, that is not how the Most High will want you to handle that situation. One, thou shalt not kill. So put the gun back up. Number two, look, let's make sure you ain't being lied to. Okay? Treat your neighbors you want to treat them yourself. Let's go see what's going on first before you go with that thing, pow, 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 and break him up. Okay? That's somebody who understands the law. And calm down. Take a breather. Let's go talk to the Father first. Let's consult Father first, not your friends. Father. Let's not go talk to the rah-rah sister or the rah-rah brother that's gonna ride out with you to go do something stupid. Let's calm down and talk to the Father first. Ask him to make some things clear first to you. You get what I'm saying? Somebody that knows the law already understands what to do, what is righteous to do. Somebody who doesn't need somebody to teach him that. If you understand what I'm saying, give me a 5. That's what Timothy's trying to say in this particular, in this chapter. Talk to the Most High first. This is what the law was made for. Situations just like that. Because then you go into Matthew, and Matthew tells you, hey, if this happens, this is how you handle this situation, baby. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. So read. I want you to continue to read Timothy, because Timothy definitely, he's telling you how a church should be made up. He's telling you these are the characteristics of your bishops and your pastors and your what do you call it? Your apostles. They can be married and have a wife, and their house needs to be in order. They need to be able to handle their wives, and they handle their wives in a good way according to the law. You understand? They need to be able to handle their own house. You can't get in front of he said, I don't want people getting in front of my assemblies of my children and their house ain't in order. You understand? I don't need you teaching if you got side pieces and all this other stuff. No, you're not going to do that. They got to have their children under subjugation. That means their children, they have to have a certain type of way they handle their children according to the laws, and their children are not out of hand and doing things out here in the street. How many of y'all seen reverends and their kids is out here in the street doing all manners of evil things? I know I did when I was a kid. The reverend's children were the worst children in the church. And you telling me what I should do, and you ain't even got your own house together. See? That's what he was saying. Your deacons and your things like that, those are certain, they need to have their house together too. You don't put nobody on your team that's making my father look bad. Period. There ought to be reflections of the law working. Those people ought to be that in front of you. That's what Timothy was about. But then we finna move on, because see, that's what Timothy, he's basically telling you, stop teaching foolishness. Stop just talking to be talking teachers. Teach his law. That's what he's asking. And that's why Miss Pat has been teaching the law. That's why. That's the reason why I said spiritual light is passing through is no longer here. But spiritual light Phoenix is here doing that which the Father asked us to do. Now we finna go over to the hard stuff. Most High is teaching me how to hit you with certain things and then kick you down a flight of stairs. He like, you gotta come in soft and go out a little rough. Like like Ike and Tina Turner rolling on the rhythm. We're gonna start slow and we're gonna end rough. That no, that's that part we at right now. Now, the Most High set up here and said, there's different people who kept on asking, Rabbi, it says, do you at this time restore the kingdom of Israel? I'm on Acts chapter 1, if anybody wants to know, and I'm at verse 7. And he said to them, it is not for you to know the times and seasons, whether the Father has set with his own authority, but you shall have received power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and you shall be my witnesses in both Jerusalem and in all Judah and Smyrna to the furthest part of the earth. Now, what he's saying is that people wanted to know back then, when would Israel be, after Moses had died, when would it be restored? Just like y'all want to know right now. When are we going to be put back in our place? Well, darling, this is where things get a little rough. And you might not like what you see. And that's here. There's this guy named Stephen. And Stephen wanted you to understand what happened when it came down to us from Moses, from our last captivity, and then us going into this one. The reason why it went down the way it went down. Now, we know we was doing a lot of sacrificing and stuff like that. But we started to do this thing with a certain star. And that star is an interesting star. And he unveiled this in front of the assembly. This is Stephen was a person I didn't even know. I had never even read Acts until this weekend. But it was just really sad how this went down with this brother. But he told the truth about certain things. Now, Moses, he went all the way back to the time of Moses, when Moses came down from the mountain, and basically he had the laws and stuff like that. And we had came up with this situation with the cow, and because he had been gone and they didn't know him like that. We don't even know this nigga. We done followed him into the wilderness, and yeah, he got us up out of Egypt, but we used to Egypt. So we need Aaron to make this cow so we can get our prayer on the way we used to back in the day. Well, y'all, this man eloquently tells us where we went wrong and where our first mistake has been and where it came from. So you all have to understand, Solomon did something wrong way back in the day. And that was that young lady that he wanted to impress so much. Remember the lady that he made he did a half-ass sacrifice with old girl, so she would be his woman or whatever, on some trying to impress her type shit. He was putting the rock in a hard place. But it's kind of like how Mr. Clinton sat up there and said, I didn't have sex with that woman, but I did get my swung sucked on a little bit. I didn't have sex with her, but I had oral. Bruh, who you playing with? It's the same thing. All you need to do is just bend on over, and that would have took care of the whole situation. What you did was you tried to say, I just did it a little bit. I just played a little bit with her. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't have sex with her. You know, so I just played with her a little bit. That's all. And the Most High is like, oh yeah, oh, you think I'm fucking stupid. You think I'm a special kind of fool, right? I told you not to mess around with no gods whatsoever. Okay? And that's the kind of game Israel played with the Most High. He said, don't have no other gods in front of me. And Solomon kind of played that kind of game with him. And the ring in which he used that had the star on it controlled demons. That's because that is the religion that woman brought with her. And she taught him that shit. Do you understand? Are you getting where I'm coming from? That's the reason why the Most High said he didn't want him being bothered with these all of these different chicks that he was getting. Mr. Ladies Man, he got this woman, and this woman brought a foreign god to him, and that foreign god was that one that used that star. And that opened him up to messing with these different demons, in which helped him build, quote unquote, the Most High's house. The Most High was like, I'm a God. What the hell I need a house for? What can contain me, bro? He went around about it the wrong way. Do you understand? He went about doing what he needed to do the wrong way. And unfortunately, he introduced something into our culture that is still here today. And this has been what has kept us inside of captivity after captivity. And here it is again that's messing with us today. So I'm going to read what our boy Stephen had to say. Yeah. So after Moses leaves the mountain and stuff like that, he basically says, the people are talking crazy to Moses and things like that. And unfortunately, this whole situation, they talking crazy about Moses. They say, we don't know this dude. He done brought us out here. Even though he saved their life, they done went through death-defying life-changing situations. Pharaoh's army was after him. He got saved. And then it's just like typical black folks. As soon as, things get a little tight and a little uncomfortable, they start talking crazy. So I'm going to read from here, chapter 37, and I'm going to go down, okay? It says, this is Moses who said to the children of Israel, a prophet shall rise up unto you and among your brethren like unto me. This is he that was in the assembly in the wilderness, and the angel spoke to him in Mount Sinai and with our fathers who received the living oracles given to us. He's talking about Moses at this point, our brother. It says, to whom our father would not be obedient, but thrust him from them. Okay, so our father said we pushed him away, basically, because when they made that cow, he was like, what? We don't went through all of this, and these folks still want to go over here and worship a fucking cow. Okay. So he's saying y'all pushed the Most High away from him. Okay, and turned back their hearts to Egypt. So they wanted to go back to Egypt, saying to Aaron, make us a Elohim, a God, so that we shall go, that it shall go before us. As for this Moses who led us forth out of the land of Egypt, we know not what has become of him. So they don't know what became of him, because he went up to the mountain and he didn't come back down quick enough for them. Okay. And they made a calf in those days and brought sacrifice to the idols and rejoiced in the works of their hands. But Elohim, the Most High, turned and gave them up to serve the host of heaven. So he said, oh, so y'all want to play with this here cow. So I'm going to let you. Do you understand what a host of heaven is? They wanted to play with this God that was introduced to them long ago, back in the day, by Solomon. A host of heaven is a star or a planet. Okay? As it is written in your book of prophets. Did you offer, he said, did you offer to kill beasts and sacrifices for 40 years in the wilderness, O house of Israel? He said, y'all didn't offer that? That's not to me who y'all was offering that shit to, because I never asked you to kill anything. He said, you took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of the Elohim Raphin. These figures you made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Now hold on. Let's go and see what we said the tabernacle of Moloch, and he said the star of the Elohim Raphan. Now let's go look and see what that is, class. Shall we? Yeah. The star of Raphan. Look at my screen. Do you see what that is? Now watch this. Look at that. You see what that is? And I'm going to read to you what it says. This is the star mentioned by the God of Israel in Amos, and it was called to him the star of your God, Moloch, otherwise known as Shin, reference to Amos 5:26. The Israelites having it in the wilderness also made an Acts, where we're reading right now, 4:7-3. It was called the star of Rahim. All of these names refer to the god Saturn and the hexagram that is brought to the Jewish people by Solomon when he turned to witchcraft and idolatry after his marriage to the Pharaoh's daughter in 922 BC. It also became the seal of Solomon in Egyptian magic and witchcraft. David had absolutely nothing to do with the hexagram and the star, and most certainly did not in any way represent God's people. Solomon gave himself up to satanic worship and built altars to Ashtaroth and Moloch, which is what? Saturn. Bam. Class, do you have any questions? Do you see that star? Yeah. Throw that shit away. If you wearing that shit, throw that shit away. Throw that away. That had nothing to do with the house of David, baby. That was the woman that whatchamacallit got introduced with. This is what I'm telling you about going to look up real things so you can see what has happened amongst us. That's the star of Rephan. That's the reason why the Most High has been angry with us all this time. All this time. Because we went and played around. And even to this day, who got this right now? And I'm going to tell you right now, what this right here, who's walking around with that in this day today? Who's walking around with that today? Who's repping that? This started being repped in 1948. And what are they doing to this day right now? They are doing what? They are sacrificing children. That's what this God wants, is children. They've been killing children over there in the other part of Gaza for how long? That's right. It is evil and it is associated with child sacrifice. If you wearing this shit around your head, throw that shit in the trash. Throw that shit in the trash. I threw mine away. Please do so. Please do so. This is what I'm talking about when you go get receipts, baby. When you go get receipts. Here you go with that cow's head. This thing right here. You understand what I'm saying? A man, a bird, and a fucking lion. All of these different heads. All of that stands for some people. Some people don't even know a 6-pointed star, and we know who's working that today, baby. We know. I'm gonna remove this from my screen, but everybody has seen it. That's the star of Moloch. Okay. So do you understand? These are the things that you need to, when they come up with stuff in here, you need to go see what they're talking about. And right now, there's only one group of people that walk around and say that they the ish, that's ish. That has nothing to do with the house of David. But that's something that his son brought into being when he met with this other woman. And they have been bothering that stuff ever since. Okay? And he said right here, he said, the figures which you have made to worship them, I will carry you away beyond Babylon. You understand? He's saying, you're going to take this beyond this place. And they have, even up to this day, it's here. Our fathers had the tabernacle of the testimony in the wilderness, even as appointed, who spoke to Moses, that he should make according to the figure that he had seen, which was also our fathers in turn, and brought in Joshua, whom they entered on possession of the nations. And Elohim thrust it out before the face of our fathers to the days of David, whom found favor in the sight of Elohim and asked to find inhabitation for the Elohim of Jacob. But Solomon built him a house. However, the Most High dwells not in houses made with hands, says the prophet. The heaven is his throne, and the earth is his footstool, his feet. What manner of house shall you build me, says Yahweh. He said, he said, Solomon took that upon him to build him a house. I didn't ask him to do that. He said, I made the damn planets. How can you contain me? But these people wanted to do this. And he said, did not my hand make all these things? You stiff-necked, uncircumcised in the heart and ears, you do always resist the Holy Spirit as your fathers did, and so do you. Man, the Most High he know how to read our ass. Does he not know how to read? I will read it again. He came for us one more time. He like, you stiff-necked, uncircumcised in the heart and ears. You can't hear. You can't hear with your heart. You can't hear. You can't see. Okay? He says, do you always resist the Holy Spirit as your fathers did? So do you. Which of the prophets did not your forefathers persecute? He said, which one did y'all sit up there and not run up in their face and talk crazy? That ain't what that is. And that. And exactly the same thing they're going to do to me after this video, baby. They're going to do the same shit to me. Okay? It says, and they killed him. It said they killed them and showed them before the coming of the righteous one. He said, I told y'all Moses was going to come. Our brothers, they say in your scriptures, it was written that Moses would come. And y'all still killed the brother. He says, of whom you now have become betrayers and murderers. Y'all betrayed him. This is after Moses has died. Y'all done killed this brother. And it was in the scriptures that he would come, and you did believe him not. He says, you who received the law as it was ordained by the angels and kept it not. And now when they hear these things, they are to cut to the heart, and they gashed on him with their teeth. That means they talk mega shit to Stephen, baby. They was like, what? This style that we wearing ain't what? You mean to tell me what you saying that we've been messing with the devil? Yep. Okay, they started talking crazy. They upset. They like, you ain't finna tell us that Solomon did something wrong and he was messing with witchcraft. You're not finna tell us that our star is good, is messed up. You ain't finna tell us we've been praying to this cow over here. And the Most High is like, I don't know who the fuck you praying to, but it ain't me. Y'all praying to cattle. I never asked you to do none of that. David knows. He said, your forefather David knew who I was, and he ain't make no shit like that. So I don't know what you're talking about, but y'all, every prophet that's done came through, y'all have persecuted them, talked crazy to them, and you have killed them because you wanted to do what you wanted to do and believe as you wanted to believe. Okay? He says, And now they heard these things were cut to the heart, and they gashed on him with their teeth. But he, being full of the Holy Spirit, looked up steadfast into heaven and saw the glory of Yahweh and Yahshua standing on the right hand of Yahweh, and said, Behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Yahweh. But they cried out loud with a voice, stopped their ears, and rushed upon him with one accord, and they cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their garments at the feet of the young man named Saul, and they stoned Stephen, calling upon Yahweh, saying, Sovereign, receive my spirit. And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, and Yahweh, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he said this, he fell asleep. Now, Saul was actually Peter, who ended up basically killing. And he was hunting down all of the disciples and killing them. Okay? That man went in and told them the truth about what they had been praying to and what happened. They rushed him, the Pharisees and Sadducees and the people, because they was team what they forefathers and what they know, church people, set up there and killed another prophet so they could keep their lives. They keep their lives. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Once you find out the truth about something, there's some people that want to that this would rock their foundation so much that they be willing to kill somebody for it. You get what I'm saying? And that's not how we supposed to be. We're not supposed to be like that, y'all. The Most High literally said, don't do the witchcraft. Don't do that stuff. But yet here we are in 2020. We just got out of fucking punishment year 2020, out of our captivity. And baby, I'm sorry, not even 3.5 years into it, and we got folks sitting up here selling backdoor witchcraft, bringing the candles, bringing terrible prayers against neighbors. We got that going, y'all. We wearing the stars. We messing around with things that we don't understand. We are a spiritually gifted people. Some people do tarot. Tarot is not what I'm talking about. It's divination. And anybody misusing spiritual gifts can get in trouble, period. You're not supposed to use these things to hurt others or put bad things into other people. You understand? It's one thing to try to understand what's happening around you. It's another thing for you to use these things for personal gain, to hurt your neighbor, for coveting things and all types of stuff. You're not supposed to do these things. And the sad part about it is you don't understand these things. There is initiations and things like that you go through. And even those who are initiated to that know better than to fuck with certain shit because you don't like the repercussions that come back once you do. Do you understand? Sending something in somebody's life or digging a hole for somebody else, you digging one for your damn self? The Most High sees everything that we do out in the open as well as in secret. He's reading your heart. He's reading your heart. People are using this type of stuff to hurt folks, and you don't even know. Unbeknownst to you, people can sit up here and say, "Oh, we want the nation to pray together." You don't know what somebody's doing in the background, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know, and you're adding, unbeknownst to you, your energy to some shit that you don't know what's going on. This is the reason why you have to sit up there and say, "You know what? I pray to my Father in secret. I pray to Him on my own. I don't really do the whole group thing like that." And there's reasons why, because you don't know what other people are doing. This is the reason why I said I was kind of upset this weekend, because We just got in 2020 out of punishment, and there was the devil waiting for many of us to go right back into what we know. Because, yes, magic was a part of our people, but not in a good way. Not in a good way, Israel. I'm sorry, it wasn't. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all. Yes, we were wizards and witches and all of those things, but really fucked up ones, not good ones. And the Most High has been asking us, stop bothering that shit. Stop bothering that shit. Leave that alone, because that ain't me that you messing with. That right there, you put my name on it, but that ain't me. I showed you what it was. You asking yourself, why are these people in control right now? Guess what? Y'all see why they're in control. And America's gone along with that bullshit too. And look where it's gotten her. Look where it's gotten her. See, this is what we're on a small we're on a small level of this. But this is a mirror of what's going on in the world right now. If you open up your eyes and you see it, them folks with that particular star, baby, have been running the way the world is right now. They've been running things this way. You got your stars sacrificing and using children's blood and things like that to make themselves look younger for what? Status, for what? Material gain, all of these things. What we're looking at is a small kamikaze, small, little cosmic of what's happening in our nation is a big mirror of what's happening in the world. We, as a people, have to let certain things go. That witchcraft shit got to go. It's got to go. Because all you are is nothing but another big, gigantic coven. That's what you are. A big-ass motherfucking coven of witches and warlocks at this point. And that is not what the Most High asked us to be. I'm sorry. It is not. He's been screaming at us since way back when. Leave that shit alone. When they got introduced, he was like, oh, this what you on? I'm going to leave you to that shit. I'm going to let you see what it gets you. And look at what it has gotten us. Look at the world in which we live in, y'all. Look at the world in which we live in. This is a reflection of it. Those people are in charge, and they adopted that particular star back in 1948. It's been exactly 70 years, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly 70 years. And they've been on top, and we've been riding with them like nothing. Like it's American has been riding with them hands down, lock, stock, and barrel, thinking that they are the people. But the people that's been underneath their nose all this time have been sitting right here. We've been their slaves. We are the people, yes, that were cursed inside the Bible. Absolutely. And there's a reason why. We were over here doing fuck shit. All of the Gentiles didn't do nothing but bring the information to us about what we were doing. I hope you understand that. That's all they did was bring us the information so we could remember ourselves here. When we came out of our captivity, we would remember ourselves. But y'all we chosen. You only chosen if you do the laws, darling. Other than that, you ain't nothing but just another Hebrew. You're only chosen. And only of holy bloodlines. And it ain't even a bloodline. Because that can be anybody around the world. Your bloodline is gone, baby. Your brother's been out here spreading their slong all over the world. It started with Solomon, with all of these foreign motherfuckers. Everybody's got to have a foreign chick. Everybody's got to have something other than what belongs to them. So now everybody's mixed up. So ain't no such thing as a bloodline. So you can stop that now. And you can stop that right now. That was ruined many, many, many eras ago. Because whatchamacallit had to have all of these women and all of these extra wives. Your bloodline went out the window with that. So stop it. Quit playing in your own face. To this day, we got brothers that left the sisters alone. They got one set of black children and another set of children from somebody else or some other race. So let's stop that right now. Let's stop that with the it's only black people, because it's not. The brothers ruined that years ago. It's all kinds of people at this point. Our lines are now blurred with every race on the planet, so you can stop it. The Most High is literally looking for people at this point. You are my children if you do my laws and you listen to my ordinances, and they are not always what Moses had said. He said, I just want the basics at this point. I'm setting the bar so low for you silly motherfuckers that I am literally making it so simple that a child could understand. That's the reason why he said you cannot come into the kingdom of heaven unless you come as a child. That means you have to unlearn that which you have learned and come in learning that which has been put in front of you. And it is just that simple, ladies and gentlemen. You got to unlearn that bullshit that your forefathers had, because it ain't do nothing. It ain't do nothing but get your ass in captivity. And here you are coming out of captivity again, and you got people selling you that same motherfucking shit already. Do you understand how upset I was to look? I'm like, we ain't even got a chance. We can't even get out of jail 5 minutes, and here's these folks standing here. And then there's people so gullible and so wanting things. Be happy with what God gave you. Be happy with what God gave you. Do you understand? You have what you have, whether it's a lot or a little. Whatever situation you find yourself in is for a reason. Many of us don't know who we were in another life. I told y'all, we've been caught in a time loop. We just keep reincarnating over and over again till we get this right. You don't know who you were in another life. The reason why your karma or your life is messed up the way it is right now. The reason why it's harder for you to get things done than it is for anybody else. I've been in that situation. Certain things don't work out well for me all the time. Every time when it works out well for somebody else, I can make things happen for somebody else. But for myself, no, it doesn't work out that well. I get angry, I get mad, I get pissed. But I don't know who I was at another time. That things have to be a certain type of way. Maybe I got to struggle a little bit harder because it's going to make me stronger in the end for whatever I'm going to come up against in the future. And trust me, I've been through some things, and it makes me stronger so I can be able to withstand those winds of the devil when they get ready to, you understand, when they get ready to hit. I can stand under some serious pressure. Not everybody can stand under the same pressures that I stand. Some people may fold. Some people may start talking crazy to God because they can't handle certain things. I had to stand alone in many situations, y'all. Heartbreaks, family betrayals, all kinds of friend betrayals. I've had to stand by myself, and many of you all had to do the same. And some people turn their back on God because I feel like he should have did this way. No, sometimes these things are done to show you some truths that you don't want to face. That maybe these people need to go out of your life anyway. That as soon as you're able to get clear of these people, maybe things started working better for you. He had to do that because maybe in your future, you're going to run into somebody that wants to sit up here and do stupid shit like put spells on people and then fuck around and find out, oh, they've been trained by the Most High and they can stand under real fucked up situations that you don't know nothing about. But because of what you see right here, you think you see something, but you don't know what I'm built of. You don't know how the Father has sharpened my armor. You don't know. All you know is what you see. And always what you see ain't what you think it is. And that can go for good and as for bad folks too. A pretty face and nice and sweet and say all the right things can be the most evil motherfucker you ever want to meet. And a person that's foul mouth, don't say all around things kind of raunchy sometimes, and real direct, might be the most honest person you ever want to meet, that's going to tell you the truth when you need to be told the truth. And you might not like how it hit, but you can sit up there and say, hey, she might be a bitch, but at least she an honest motherfucker, okay? She ain't standing in my face with this smile and well conversation and stabbing me in my back. Do you understand? I've been there. I done seen people that do that. But you don't know how the Father has shaped me and made me. You don't know everybody's stories and the wars that they've been through. So you have to be careful with who you fucking with out here. Because sometimes you can fuck around and find out. This is the reason why the Most High said, leave that magic shit alone, y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all that for years. Now, you've been told to you, Israel, leave that shit alone. You see what that star brings you? Leave that shit alone. That's outside your pay grade. Leave that shit alone. You want to talk to the Most High? He's real plain. He real simple. All you got to do is talk to me. You ain't got to come and you ain't got to burn one candle for me. I'm here. I'm present, future. I'm past, present, and future. I'm in 3 worlds. Whatever you need, I can make it happen if you believe in me and do as I ask and not be messing over your people. You understand? Don't hurt them. Don't get upset. If anybody's done anything to me, I understand. You was misguided. I get it. And I forgive you and I let it go with love. Am I going to fuck with you? No, I'm not. Am I going to have anything to say to you? Absolutely not. But I'm going to let you go in love. Because I know you didn't know what you was doing. But it's all right. It's all right. And that's how you're going to have to be when you get hurt with different people, y'all. That's how you're going to have to be with your neighbors. You're going to have to feel how you feel in private, not with a group, not infesting and talking shit. Feel how you feel. Talk to the Most High, who is your friend. He wants to be your friend. And he will help you get over the hurt. You understand? Because that's how he helped me get over the hurt. You can have mad respect for people, and people let you down. It's like, why? Why? I loved you. I loved y'all. Why would y'all do that to me? But it is what it is. And the Most High is saying this in the world, in the group of Israelites, or whatever you want to call yourself, because I'm not calling myself an Israelite. I'm a child of the Most High because I'm doing what he asked me to do. I'm taking that spot. I'm not taking the spot of a Hebrew. I'm not taking the spot of an Israelite. The Israelites was on some bullshit back in the day, and I don't want to be connected to that. Okay? Give me a 10 if you don't want to be connected to no motherfucking witchcraft that your forefathers and them did and couldn't let that shit go. I'm not connected to that. I'm letting that go, and I'm about to do what the Most High asked me to do. So give me a 10 if that's what you own. That's what I'm on. Anybody bringing that shit to me? Anybody with candles and shit? No, I'm not dealing with that. Sorry. No. That's what got us in trouble. And I'm not going back to jail for another 400 plus motherfucking years. Man, fuck that. We've been in jail 3 motherfucking goddamn terms. That's all we've known is motherfucking jail. I'd like to know what it's like to follow the rules for a change. I'd like to know, because I'm tired of other people having and I can't have. He sat up there and did that to us so we can see what's been going on. He did that so we can see others have. He brought the Gentiles and let them have right in front of our face. We see their neighborhoods. They live in a totally different situation than we do. I'm not going to jail no more for this shit. Okay? That's all we've ever done is serve these motherfuckers. I'm tired. You hear me? I'm sick of it. I'm tired of being at the back of the line. I'm tired of getting scraps. I'm tired of the ghetto. I'm tired of this is how it's time. It's over with. We're done. I'm done. I don't need a candle. I don't need no tricks, no dips, none of that. Do you understand? I don't need no sorcery of any kind. I am done with that. You can sit up there and play with tarot cards. That's not a problem. That's just dealing with the space of people around you. That's not what we're talking about. That's divination. They understand that's something different. It's different when you doing shit to affect somebody else. It's different when you're doing something to affect someone else. That new moon's messing with your moon. Hey, baby, this eclipse that went past, there's some people that did some powerful fucked up shit, baby. Powerful fucked up shit with this last eclipse. And somebody that's trying to do it again. You don't know what these people are doing. These people need a lot of love. They need that. Hey, and material things, it's not what's gonna hit it. Materials, you looking for material things. You want power. You want to swap people's different destinies. This is how crazy. And the people who mess with this stuff, you don't understand. It's going to backfire on you. That's the reason why true people who understand this say leave it alone. This is outside your understanding, because if it goes wrong, everybody that's ever did that shit, y'all, has died. Anybody that's ever played them kind of games end up killing themselves or going crazy. And I'm telling you that now. Leave that stuff alone, and you know now in the world who's doing what. Them folks are doing what they doing. They've been in charge of everything. And unfortunately, our government is mixed up in that crap too. And y'all know how this gonna end. Revelations told you how it's gonna end. Americans gonna come in and they'll tell literally, these tariffs are going to tear this country apart. There's going to be nothing here. People are going to be leaving America in droves. And guess what? It ain't going to be cool to be an American in China. It's not going to be cool to be American overseas. These people are going to learn what it feels like to be us someplace else where people don't like you. Do you get what I'm saying? You got to understand. The Most High had to make prophets that understood what the other side was doing. You can't be on a football field and be from a basketball team and say, I'm gonna win against a football team. Do you understand? You play another sport. That doesn't mean you can be killing it over there on a basketball team, but on a football field, that's a whole nother ball game and a whole different build of people, baby. You got to be able to have a team that's ready to do battle with a football team. So the Most High had to teach people like Moses. You understand? He had to teach people like Isaiah and Ezekiel and all of those hidden things to be able to fight against the priests that were here. So don't think for 5 seconds that Moses and them didn't know what those priests were doing. That's the reason why he was able to do battle with them inside of Egypt, baby. He was also brought up underneath those magical things. He knew everything about Egypt. But what the Most High taught him was totally different. That's how he was able to go to battle. That's the reason why a brother could do things that other people couldn't do. Yeah, because they were taught by the Creator himself. You can't have a fighting team without them understanding what evil does and how evil gets down. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there are people, but they operate totally different. Egypt operates one way and the other folks operate another. They don't give a fuck about killing somebody. You understand? The other side does not care about killing you. Whereas our side, the side of the Most High, says, we don't do that. We don't mess with our neighbor. We don't do anything to be able to mess with us. In fact, if that's what you own, we space ourselves from you. we get rid of you all the way around. That's not what we own. We move away. We don't sit up here and say, well, we're going to come together and we're going to try to take everything you got. No, we don't. We tell you, go ahead, you take that shit somewhere else, baby. We moving on. And we tell everybody, hey, he on something else. We over here. You can go over there if you want to. That's on you, but we over here. That's how we do things. There's a difference. And that's how you know who's on the Most High side and who is on something else's side. Now you get it? Give me a 10 if you get it. That's how you know. The Most Highest people are going to be consistent with those laws. The other side, they about they self. They about what's best for them. And we got to get out of this. Be happy with what the Most High has given you. He has given it to you for a reason, and you don't have more because you don't believe. And that's something I had to realize myself. Because I don't believe, I don't have what I need. He said, I'm an intertransdimensional being. What you need today, I can go into your future and make it where you could get it tomorrow. Yep. So I know that was kind of eye-opening today, but you all needed that eye-opening so we can stop this, because I am tired of jail. I'm tired. I am sick and tired of it. I'm not doing this shit no more with y'all. That group punishment shit, I'm not here for it no more. I'm not here for it. I'm making my mind up. I'm on the other side of the room. Okay? I'm over here with the Most High. I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not going to jail this time with motherfuckers. No, not that. This time he opened up my mind and let me see all of that shit right there, all that right there. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I had a family, did the same things, baby. Same things. Pass that shit down from generation upon generation. Oh, no. It stops here. It stops here. It's stopping here today. I'm not passing that shit down. I'm not finna have these grandbabies and my daughter in the middle of that. No, we're not doing that. For personal gain, non-personal gain. That's it. The only thing I'm happy about is that my family only did stuff for protection, but we're not doing none of that. You understand? None of it. We out. For me and mine, we out. You have to make up your mind what you're going to do with your people. But I know all them little stars and all that other shit, that shit went in the motherfucking garbage this weekend. In the motherfucking trash out my house. I'm sure the Most High, I'm down with whatever you talking about. I'm down with your laws. I ain't trying to make no other gods. I'm not trying to be worshiping things, people, anything else. And I'm happy with whatever the hell the Most High has given me. Whatever he has given me. I might be lacking here and there and this and that. But you know what? The only reason why I lack is because I don't believe. He said, I can do whatever you need and get everything you need to you. You got to understand the kind of God I'm at. You need to find out about me. All you know is what these people in the street that told you about me. You get what I'm saying? And on that note, y'all, give me 10s if you like this lesson. If you like this lesson, please give your girl a 10. Tell me I like this in my comment section. I do appreciate it. Like I said, those people who bought Patch Healing Hands, I got a few more bottles left if you want to. Inside the description box, the website is there where you can order some if that's what you want to do. But I do have a few more. And like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to. I got a few more bottles, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to keep on selling them, because unfortunately the stuff that I need comes from other places. So I don't know how much that stuff is going to be in the future right now. So I've got some, and the summer's coming up for people who have eczema and stuff like that, because I know my daughter's eczema starting to act up. So that means warmer temperatures are more than likely getting ready to come up. And you need to have that kind of stuff for your babies who have issues with their skin. So like I said, it's in the description box where you can get it. And Until next time, y'all, we got some more. Like I said, it's lesson time. It's time for us to start to learn better. I think next time we'll be inside the book of Matthew so we can learn how to do these laws. But I had to bring that to y'all's attention today. And if you rocking with me, hey, get rid of that shit, y'all. And anybody that's on that witchcraft shit, y'all need to seriously space yourselves immediately, ASAP. And on that note, y'all take care. And I'll see you all on Friday. All right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.